scariest thing happened to me right now. And I feel like it could have easily have been avoided had I just taken my ass across the street. So I'm really busy at work right now. And I decided to order Dunkin' through DoorDash. Anyways, the Dasher gets here and he's calling me and he's like, I'm outside. And I go, okay. So I go to the door, open it, and I don't see anybody. And I'm like, oh, I don't see you, are you? And he cuts me off and he's like, Spanish only. So I'm like, oh, I only speak Spanish only. And I'm like, oh, okay, yo hablo un poquito. And he goes, okay, you know, I'm here. He's saying it in Spanish. Come get your food. And I'm like, okay, where are Spanish only? At this point, the man starts yelling at me because I really don't know. I guess he was just mad at me because I wouldn't speak Spanish. But baby, I don't speak Spanish. I speak very little. So my dumbass runs to the computer and I'm thinking, let me go ahead and try to Google Translate, right? Look, let me show you. Look, I have Google Translate up and everything. So I'm trying to type as fast as I can. And the man is yelling at me like, hello, where are you? Like literally screaming at me. And I'm like, okay, dude, can you like chill out? Like just give me 1 second. And he's like, Spanish, literally screaming at me. And I just couldn't take it. My heart was racing. I started getting really anxious. So I hung up on him and that's where I fucked up. So I'm like, okay, let me get a hold of DoorDash. Maybe they can help him out, translate, I don't know. So I start chatting in, trying to like, you know, get a hold of them. And then he starts blowing my phone up. So I'm like, so I pick up the phone. I'm like, hello? And he's like, what the fuck? Where are you? I have your phone. Like literally screaming at me. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't even want it anymore, dude. You could have it. So I'm chatting with DoorDash, like I hang up on him again, and I'm chatting with DoorDash, and I'm like, yo, this guy is really angry. I don't know what I did to piss him off, but like, please, can you guys just, I think he's outside, like outside the shopping plaza. Can you just have him leave it in the parking lot? Like, I'll fucking go get it myself, but just get him off the premises, please. So they're like, yeah, don't worry. We're going to go ahead and call him, right? So I thought, next thing I know, I hear banging on the door, and they're fucking chatting back to me, telling me, yo, we can't get a hold of the Dasher. You might need to call the cops. I said, bitch, what? So this is where I start to have a dumb bitch moment because I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's a tenant banging on the door. You never know. I got to answer the door. So I'm trying to move this chair as quietly as possible so that I can look out the peephole because my short ass can't see shit. Meanwhile, he keeps banging. He's like, I can hear you. I'm like, fuck, what do I do? I just wanted some donut holes. That was it. That's all I wanted.
Put a finger down. Put a finger down if when you were in the 2nd grade, you go to school, you're minding your business, it's another day at school. It is now lunchtime. Somebody that you think is your friend is like, hey, can you come in to use the bathroom? Yeah, cool. It's your friend. You're going to go with them to the bathroom. As you're walking to the bathroom, thinking nothing of it, the school lunch aide is like, no, one person at a time. You don't need to go to the bathroom in pairs. So guess what? You end up being the person that has to go back and sit down. You go back and sit down. By the time the person comes from the bathroom, it is now time for you guys in your class to go upstairs. You and your class go upstairs. You go straight to the rug because the teacher wants to tell a story or like do an activity as a group, whatever the case is. And your crush is like, oh, teacher, within a couple minutes of being on the rug, your crush is like, teacher, I'm bleeding. Like, I just got cut. The teacher's like, everybody evacuate off the carpet. Like, how did you get cut? They look on the rug as everybody gets off the carpet, and there's a knife. The teacher is frantic. Why is there a knife? Whose knife is this? Classmates, people who knew, says whose knife it is. Why is there a knife? Security comes upstairs. Why is there a knife here? Oh, because said person wanted to kill Ciara. Oh, and you're Ciara. You're the only Ciara in the class. So now it becomes a whole thing. The next day, your parents have to come to the school to find out why in the 2nd grade someone wanted to kill their child. Come to find out, the plan was for Ciara to go to the bathroom with said person and get killed.
Put a finger down if in high school over 10 years ago you met a boy, y'all end up talking, end up dating, and then you end up going to a whole different school and you totally forget this guy exists and literally forget his whole presence, and you know you
have other boyfriends, go to college, and then you're grown. Fast forward to 2020 when the pandemic happens, you follow each other on Instagram, but you literally never see him on your timeline until one day you see him in your story. Click on it just because you're bored. It's a pandemic after all. So you click on his story, he posted something funny, you slide up just being funny yourself and you laughing about it. Then y'all end up having a conversation, and then eventually he asks for your number, but because you're so conscious and you don't got time to play games with these boys, you ask him ahead of time, like, look, before we get into anything, what are your intentions? Are you planning on being more than friends? And he says yes, and y'all start a conversation, y'all start talking, and y'all are just like really infatuated with each other. And then he tries to link up. He lives so far from you on the other side of town, and not to mention eyebrow places is closed, hair places, everything is closed because of the pandemic, so you ain't really looking your best. But he insists on seeing you and driving to the nearest park closest to you, and you're like, wow, he really would drive that far to see me? Let me see what he's about. So y'all link up and y'all walk on the trail in a park for 3 hours talking, literally not knowing what time it is or what's going on because y'all are so infatuated with the conversation and each other. So right after y'all leave each other, he texts you hard eyes, so you already thinking like, dang, I bagged and tagged him already, that's mine. So then the same week he comes over, y'all watch movies, and literally ever since that day he has never went home. He moved in with you, you got pregnant a month later, and now y'all have a beautiful 1-year-old who is attached to her dad's hip, and they're viral on TikTok, and you're just living your life and y'all love each other so much.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes I do envy and I do be being jealous of the small feet community. Because I'm not telling my man what size shoe I wear. I'm taking that to my deathbed, bitch. I'm not gonna say, babe, I wear a size 10 and a half. Damn, these bitches is big as fuck! That is exactly why I'm not doing that. You is not gonna call me big feet when you mad. No.
Can we talk about how these leasing agents, realtors, brokers, whatever, are currently scamming us? So like everybody else, I received my lease renewal letter, rates skyrocketed. Not a big deal because I needed more space, so I knew I was not going to renew anyway. So since January, I've been looking at houses to rent, but this past month, I've been active. Like every single day, I'm checking the website. See a perfect house on Tuesday, great location, within my budget, all of that. I know these things move quickly, so I find the person's number, reach out to them via text. She tells me the link to the website where the application is. There's more details. She gives me the number to her assistant, Chris, for the tour. I immediately go to the website. It checks off all my boxes. I know these things go quickly, so I fill out the application, I pay, and I text Chris. He texts me back telling me that they already have a tenant for that home, which is beyond confusing because why is it still posted? And it's still posted as I make this TikTok video. Like, they're just raking in these fees.